Hello, my name is Dr. Paris and I'm the Deputy Principal at Fremont-Elizabeth City High School. Today we'll be looking at, different types of CSS style sheets. There's an internal one and an external. So today we'll look at internal. The next session we'll look at the external. So start with the internal. I'm just going to fire up a program called Notepad++, and I'll start my coding. Now, we type in the basic HTML structure for a web page. HTML web page on, or web page starts and the web page finishes here. Okay, so start and stop a web page. Now, with basic structures, I'm going to indent. Just makes it easy to read. There's a behind the scenes in the web page, and that's a head section, head off, on and head off. Okay. Then there's in front of screen instructions called the body. So the body on and the body off. So that's where we see things on the screen, and this is where we don't see things on the screen, the behind the screen. So that's a basic HTML structure. On top of that, we're going to lay out this instruction here called style. Style means we're now going to add some, or embed a new language. In this case, it's a CSS, the Cascaded Style Sheet language. For this exercise, I'm going to do a computer block diagram of a computer system. So in that, and let's just type in some instructions. So I'm going to do a computer system block diagram, and there's basically what four parts. There's an input, there's the central processing unit, there's output, and there's the storage sections. Okay, so if I was to save that now, file, save as, and save it as internal CSS.html, make sure it's HTML. If you were to save that, right, then let's have a look what we've done. All we've done is a lot, nothing really, just some lines there. There we go. Oops. Yeah, so just go off screen. There we go. Some lines. There we go. So it's there, pretty boring. So we're going to make that a little bit more exciting. First of all, we're going to add, well, just some basic HTML style. HTML1, which is header 1, starts there, and we're going to switch it off over here. And that's a simple basic HTML. Have a look what we've done. That's all we've done. But we wanted to make this a little bit more exciting than just HTML. So to do that, we're going to create some styles. Okay. So I want to create a style called box. You can call it whatever you want. Because I'm creating a name, I have to type in the word box. Type in the word dot box. I'm creating the name box. So dot means brand new style or tag, doesn't exist in HTML. And it's going to start with that brace and finish in that brace. So we know where it starts and stops. So first of all, I'm going to have some border in one of the boxes. It's going to be 2 pixels long. It's going to be a solid line, and it's going to be brown. A semicolon. That means that colon means border is a CSS code. Border colon. They're the instructions. 2 pixels thick. It's going to be a solid line, and I'll make the color brown. End of instructions for border. So semicolon. I'll put some background color. So background color. Let's put color spelled the American way. Right. And that's the instruction for CSS, and I want it to be orange, so I type in orange. Ideally, you shouldn't be typing in names of colors, should use hex codes. You only got restricted a limited amount of names, but with hex codes you got 26 million colors, so it's best to use hex codes. But for this exercise, I'm just using names. Okay, for this box, I'm going to add a border radius. In other words, I want corners. Border radius is a CSS code. I want to start an arch at 5 pixels, a 5 pixel arch in the corners. End of instruction, semicolon. Text, a line. So the text inside the box, that's a CSS code. So colon, the instruction for text align, I want it to be centered, the American way, center. End of instruction, semicolon. I want the vertical align. So between the top and bottom of the box, I want the text to sit in the middle at the semicolon end of instruction. Now the position, I'm going to position the box. Now the position, you got to tell the computer where you want to start. Well, it's a good idea to start at the same location, and absolute is a common one to do. Absolute position. The absolute position in the computer is the top left-hand corner. Okay, so it knows where to start from. From the top left-hand corner, I want to go down 80 pixels. Okay, end of instruction. So from here, we're dropping down 80 pixels. Okay, and from the left, margin left, I want to go 15 pixels in. Okay, so we're saying start there, drop down 80 pixels, move across 15. So we've done that. Now I want one of those words there to be in that particular box. So I'm going to divide my page. So CSS really breaking up your web page into little blocks so you get the magazine effects. So what I'm going to say here is divide this bit from the rest of the page. So div on and div off. Right. So we're breaking it up from the rest of the page. Now we're going to put a switch in there. The switch is we're saying look at the CSS. It's called a class. Class are the little blocks that we just created. We created one called box. So call it box. So it's saying here for this particular division, look at the instructions for box and follow it, as we're saying here. If we were to save that now and have a look at it, this is what it looks like. Okay. Oh, it's got the whole lot. I don't want the whole lot. So something's gone wrong. So I've done the I didn't switch it off. That's what happened here. It's split across. I want to stop there, division. Save, do a bit of a run, have a look at it, and it stays there. Great. That's fantastic. Because I don't want to type this all in, it's going to be very similar. What I'm going to do is I want to copy that, right, and go down. And I've got 4 boxes, so I'm going to copy that bit, Control C, and I've got 1 already, 2, 3, 4. And I'll call this one box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4. Okay, so 4 divisions, and I'm going to divide these up 2. Okay, so I call it box 1, 2, 3, 4. Now breaking it up, I put divs in there. Now it's going to be, it can't be called box anymore. It's going to be box 1. This is going to follow the instruction of box 2, 3, 4. Okay, and it ain't going to look very good. It's going to be just piled on top of each other, so it's not a very good look at this point in time. We've got 4 boxes on top of each other, and the last one will be on top, I'd imagine. There it is. Okay, so we're going to spread it out a bit. So to do that, let's just spread it out. We're going to well, we had left margin at 15. Let's bring this to say 200 pixels across. Okay, we'll make this say 450 across. 455 across. But this one here I want to stay underneath the second box, so that should be 250, 205 as well, because I want them to line up. 205. They'll be on top of each other, but we have to break it up. But for now, let's look at what we've done. Okay, got 1, 2, 3, the other one on top of each other. We want to separate those two. Okay, so what we're going to do now is for those two, we need to put some more instructions. We're going to say from the top, this one here really can't be at 80. It needs to be 180. So save that. Let's have a look. And run it. They're separated. That's fantastic. Okay. Now I want them to have different colors. I don't want it to look like that. So I'm going to play around with the color. This one here, I decided. Well, let's make it brown. I don't want a brown border. I'll make it a light blue border, and let's make the background blue. Nice little contrast. Okay, save what we've done. Have a look what we've done, and I've changed the color there. Good. Okay, I'm going to change the colors of the rest now. Okay, so box 2 have changed the border to light blue. I've changed the background color to blue. I've changed the box 3 to light green, the background color to green. I've changed box 4 border to yellow and the background color to grey. Let's look at what it looks like now. Okay, it's looking good. Right. I find the writing very difficult to read. So what I want to do is, actually, in actual fact, I don't want a white background. I want a black background and white writing. So with CSS, you don't actually have to create tags. This is creating classes. You don't have to create them. So dot, whatever name you give it, is a new creation. But I can actually use existing ones. And an existing tag is like body. So body does exist. So I'm not going to put a dot in there. But I'm going to rearrange the rules of body to the following, right? I want to say for the body, okay, I'm going to put some instructions in there, and I'll have the background. This is CSS background, color spelled the American way. That's the CSS instruction, and I want it to be black. A background color black, and when it reads the body tag goes from there to there. So anything in there is going to be a black background, and I'll make the color, anything in there, the color spelled the American way, is going to be white writing. So anything inside the body tags, it's going to have white writing. So by just adding that, I've rearranged the whole web page. So you can use pre-existing tags, HTML tags, to restructure it with CSS, or you can do creations. That's what we've done both. Have a look. Here we go. So the body tag now is black, whiting is right. It becomes a little bit more easier to read. What I'm going to do also, if you look at it again, I don't actually like the fact that it's not centered. The head is not centered. So the best way to do that is play around with the tag for that. I'm using H1 for big block writing. So instead of playing around with the switches inside HTML, I'm going to say, well, if you see the H1 tag, do the following. Okay, instruction on and off. Okay, we're going to make that instruction, we're going to make that centered. So when it sees the H1 tag, using CSS, text, align, okay, that's instruction, make it center, right? So we're using CSS to do the talk, but changing one thing here, every time it sees H1, so in a web page you might have lots of H1 instructions all over the page. By changing it once, they all follow the same rules. Save it and have a look. And there it is centered. Okay. Now a few more things I'm going to do. I want to make that bigger, and I want to make that the same length as that above. Okay, so I'm going to be playing around with that now. So I'm looking at box 2 and box 4. So I want them to be the same width. So I'm going to say the width here. Okay, I want it to be say 160 pixels. Okay. But I'm going to make box 4 the same width as well. It doesn't matter where you put it. So I'll just keep it consistent. It's just neat and tidy. The width of this, make it 160 pixels as well. End of instructions. Save it, and so look what we've done. So there it is, the same width. It's starting to look like the way I want it. But I want this one to be bigger. Right? So to be bigger, I need to deal with the height of box 2. So the height of box 2, let's make it 60 pixels, and save it and go across, have a look at what we've done, and there it is. Okay, things are looking good. Okay, we're running out of time now, but what will make this better is if you've got some GIF animated arrows, so having an arrow pointing this way, an arrow pointing that way, and arrows up and down, that will be complete. But anyway, it shows you here how I can use CSS to build diagrams, and basically this is the HTML, that part there, that's all we need, and these here are instructions on how to deal with each of the blocks. Again, a reminder, you could write this as one big line, but it's hard to read. I tend to put them into indents, makes it easy to read. Thank you for watching. Bye.